Good morning, everybody. Let's talk about the prophetic word again today. We're going to go to 1 Kings chapter 15. I'm going to tell you a little bit of the story, and I want you to read for your homework 1 Kings chapter 15. If you want to go on to chapter 16, that would be extra credit for you. But 1 Kings chapter 15, beginning in verse 11, going down to, I believe, verse 34, talks about how Asa was the king of Judah and Baasha was the king of Israel. And of course, those who have read through the Kings and Chronicles and those books in the Old Testament know that there's a civil war of sorts between the 10 houses of Israel and the 2 houses of Judah and Benjamin. That there was a split for many, many years. And so that's why you see the different kings mentioned, one for the house of Judah, the other for the house of Israel. The ones that were in the house of Judah were all the lineage all the way up until the Messianic, the Messiah, basically, all the way from David all the way through to Jesus Christ. The other one was actually a servant of Solomon that went from father to son, and so forth. So we see the battle that's warring between these 2 kings, Asa and Baasha. Well, the way the story goes is that Asa was a really good king. He actually loved the Lord. He loved doing what God told him to do. He got rid of a lot of nasty things out of the land and even removed his grandmother from the throne. She was ruling over things. Removed her from the throne, and he became king, solid king without any, help from a family member, and walked with God. He instituted the commandments of God and got rid of the idols out of the country and the region that he was king over. But there was still this Bashan that built this fortified city that kept people from going to Asa or coming out from Asa where he was stationed as king in his region. So there was something like many of us listening to this video that face a lot of times. You're doing the right thing, but yet there's still that one thing, that one person that's keeping a certain part of your life from going to and fro. It's bringing a bondage. There's a bondage there. Well, the way the story goes is Asa goes and gets a hold of the king of Syria and asked him to make a treaty with him. He takes the valuables, the jewels and the silver and the gold out of the house of God and gives it, tells his servants to go give it to that king of Syria to make a treaty with him instead of Baasha. So that king of Syria does that, and Baasha hears about it and stops building that fortified city. The bondage, or the means by which the bondage would stay in Asa's life, stopped as a result of a treaty that Asa made with Syria. And there are some that need to deal with that bondage that's in your life in the same way. You need to take that which is the most valuable to you, that those listening, that God has told you to give away or to get rid of in your life, that in return will create a treaty and cause a freedom to take place. Sometimes some people listening to this video think that won't happen, or that doesn't work, but have you tried it? Have you done what Asa did? Have you actually been walking with the Lord and doing what God told you to do? And now you still find this Baasha moment where someone or something is building that in your life that's keeping you from experiencing freedom in that other area of your life. You're experiencing all these other freedoms, but this one area needs to be set free. Well, God is saying in order for that to be set free, something has to be given away, and a treaty will be established. And when that treaty is established, the help will come, and it will cause the enemy to flee. Well, in the story, as you read it, Asa took the material, the wood and the stone that Baasha was building to come against Asa, and he built 2 other cities, and he caused that which the enemy tried to use for evil, God again turned it around for Asa's good, and he could do that for you. So there's something that has to be given away, and thus a treaty will be established, and you will see freedom in your life. God bless you. Have a great day.